there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelby and today I'm going to be going over all of my anticipated releases for 2019. I have quite a few here, so I'm going to get right into it. I have over 15 to talk about. I'm so excited for all of the releases this year. I have pre-ordered some and some I'll probably just wait for them to come out when they come out. And I do have most of the dates written down for these, so I'll just go over those. I will link as many as I can down below, as well as my Goodreads if you guys want to be friends. So let's get right into it. One of my first most anticipated is An Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I read The Wife Between Us in 2018, loved it. I don't know too much what it's about, but that's okay with me. I know that it's about an ethics study, someone who's participating in one, and I'm guessing some pretty unethical things happen. And that sounds right up my alley. And this one comes out on January 8th, so right around the corner. And then after that, on the 29th of January comes out 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. Everyone went bananas for The Hating Game, which I think came out in 2017. And I did too. I loved it. It was a hate to love romance. And this one is about a girl who has been crushing on her brother's best friend since childhood. But he's been off limits because he is her twins or brother's best friend, but now suddenly he isn't off limits, and I'm assuming it is their romance, and I am all for it. That sounds right up my alley as well. And again, that one is coming out the 29th of January. And then by Lisa Gardner, Live to Tell is coming out. That's coming out February 19th. And that one is the Detective Dee Dee Warren book number 10. Not sure what it's about, but I know that it continues with the detective as well as this other character that has been in the last couple of books called Flora Dane, I think is her name. And I know it's probably going to be some kind of messed up murder mystery. And that one comes out, like I said, February 19. And then another in February is The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. This one comes out February 26th. I heard about this from Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand. She got it as an ARC and it sounded amazing. It is a military romance. It is about two best friends who are deployed together, and one of the best friends has a sister and the other best friend has been anonymously keeping a pen pal with the sister. Suddenly the brother dies and he's still communicating with the sister. So I'm assuming it's some kind of romance, and I heard really sad. So really excited for that one. Never read anything by Rebecca Yarros. And then coming out in March 5th is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And this is kind of like The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, that it seems so real, and it's told about the past. So this is about a band, I think, called Daisy Jones and the Sixth. And basically it is recounting their history from the 70s and from interviews and magazine clips and things like that. And you learn about this band and their popularity in the 70s. So that sounds so good. And again, it comes out on March 5th. And then another from March 5th is by Peter Swanson called Before She Knew Him. I've read one of his books, Her Every Fear, and I haven't read The Kind Worth Killing, but I've heard it is amazing. And this one, like I said, is called Before She Knew Him. And it's about a woman who her neighbor, she realizes, is a killer. And so I just assume it's kind of some kind of domestic thriller, and that sounds right up my alley. I just love going into thrillers kind of blind, so I don't know too much about the thrillers in here. And again, that is on March 5th. And then, let's see, March 19th is one by Kelly Rimmer, and it's called The Things We Cannot Say. I read a book by her earlier this year, and I loved it. Last year. And this one is a World War II fiction book, so it's a little different from her other writings. And I think it's about a Russian refugee, so not quite German people or anything like that. It's about Russians, so I think that's really interesting. Don't know much else beside that, but I really like her writing, and it's always gets me in the heart. So I'm really excited for this one, March 19. And then I have The Mother-in-Law by Sally Hepworth coming out April 23rd. And it's about a woman with a relationship with her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law makes her life hell, and suddenly the mother-in-law dies, and she says she has cancer, but she doesn't. And you're wondering what happened, and it is a story that it says ends in murder. So that sounds amazing. I have two of her books actually, and I haven't read either, so I need to get on that. And then we have The Last House Guest by Megan Miranda. I read All the Missing Girls 2 or 3 years ago, and I loved it when it came out. I think it was 2 years ago. I haven't read The Perfect Stranger because I've heard mixed things. I don't know what this one is about, but I know it's some kind of thriller, and it comes out on May 2nd. And then on May 7th, I have The Last Time I Saw You by Liv Constantine. This past year, I read The Last Mrs. Parrish. I loved it. Don't know what this one is about, but I assume it'll be equally as good. And then we have all the way in June, The Summer of '69 by Elin Hilderbrand. It comes out June 18th. And this one is about a family in Nantucket in the 60s. And I heard it was in dedication to her brothers. So this sounds really good. I need to read more of her books because I have only read one, but I have a bunch of them. And then in July, we have on July 2nd, Stone Cold Heart by Kaz Freyer. I read the first one in this series a couple of months ago, and it is the Detective Kat Kinsella series. And basically this one is about an Australian woman that is found dead after a work party at her boss's house. And I'm guessing that Kat Kinsella looks into it, and it's just a murder mystery. Love books like that. I already pre-ordered that off of Book Depository. So excited. I think the first one was called Sweet Little Lies, and that one was really good. So highly recommend that as well. And then again on the 2nd, we have Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. And I just read Final Girls. I loved it. I haven't read that other one that came out The Last Time I Lied. I haven't read that one yet, but I did read Final Girls. Loved it. And this woman apparently apartment sits for someone. There's all these rules, and another woman who's apartment sitting in the building, she appears dead. And so they're wondering what happened. And that sounds amazing, and I like how all of the covers of Riley Sager's books match. Just looks so good. And then in August, we have The Things You Save in a Fire by Catherine Center. I have How to Walk Away, haven't read it, but I have seen nothing but great reviews on Goodreads for The Things You Save in a Fire, that it is like, it makes you cry, it makes you laugh, it just sounds so good. It's a family drama, and it's about a woman who, I think she's a firefighter, and she moves to Boston because her mother asks her to, and it's just a change she's not ready for. So I'm not really sure, but it just sounds like some kind of family drama. And then also in August 27th is The Last Widow by Karen Slaughter. It's the 9th book in the Will Trent series. I'm caught up through the 3rd book, so I'm about to read the 4th. So I have some reading to go, but I have until August, so I have a while. Don't know what it's about because I don't really want to know too much about Will Trent between now and then, so I didn't want to read the synopsis. No cover yet for this one, but I'm so excited because I love anything that Karen Slaughter publishes. And then the last one is on September 5th, and it's The Turn of the Key by Ruth WARE. And it is about a woman who responds to a nanny ad, and I'm guessing some bad things happen at the house that she responds to the ad for, and she probably regrets taking that position. So I'm not sure what it's about, but I really like Ruth WARE. The last one I read, The Death of Mrs. Westaway, was meh for me, but the other 2 books, The Woman in Cabin 10 and In a Dark, Dark Wood, I loved. So I'm so excited. I'm kind of bummed it's later in the year. Most of these are in the beginning of the year, so I'm hoping that we hear about more releases later on in the year. So those are all my anticipated releases for 2019. I would love to hear what you guys want to be reading. I always love new suggestions, and I will see you guys all in my next one. Bye.